this is Josh from JoshBuilds.com, and today we will be building a compressed air tank, and you can see how it works at the end. But this is a cool little build because to make it, all we need is a bike tire's inner tube and an empty aerosol can. Now eventually with this, we'll be using this tank for other projects, like to spin an air engine and even make a compressed air gun. I'm going to start the build off with this old inner tube that I don't need. I'm going to cut around the valve and basically end up cutting the valve out. This will give us an easy way to fill up our can using a bicycle pump. Once we have that, take the lid off the can, and as you can see, pushing that small little button is how the air comes out. Now I'm going to drill a hole in the bottom. Once the hole is drilled, you're going to find there's a rubber divide between the top and the bottom half. So I ended up doing this later, but essentially you want to push a clothes hanger through to break the divide between the top and bottom half. Now we can screw in and then add some glue to our valve. Once we have that glued in place, let's just add some epoxy to it so it doesn't want to move and it stays in there really nice and tight. Now as you can see, pushing down on the top nozzle lets air out. So this whole system we're building now for the top end is basically a way to push down on that nozzle to let air out. So I'm going to use some epoxy, and basically with this epoxy, once I mix it up, I want to add it to the little nozzle and then attach the little nozzle to the long tube that we have there. So now that means when we push down on the tube, once it's glued to the nozzle, it's going to let air out. And I actually realized that that little nozzle comes out. It's probably easier to work with once it's out. So now as you can see, when you push against that, the nozzle pushes in and would let air out if it was filled with air. Now I just want a hinge mechanism, so when we squeeze one side, it'll push the middle down and let air out. I'll wrap an elastic band around a dowel, and then once that's done, I may add another one, and then squeezing it would let air out. Now let's test it out. We can fill it up with air by attaching it to a bicycle pump. Once it's on there, I can fill it up to about 80 psi, and it seems pretty safe. Now to use it, all we need to do now is squeeze the little trigger we made. Squeezing the trigger will push the tube towards the nozzle, and the nozzle being pushed inwards will let air flow through it. And as you can see, we can fill this balloon up. Thanks for watching to the end of my video. Feel free to like and subscribe, and check out ways to support me to help me make more cool and better videos like this one. To see my other projects and buy parts you might need, you can check out my channel or my website JoshBuilds.com. You can also follow me on my social networks to keep updated with my new content. Thanks.